Okay, so what I'll talk about next is selecting a venue and how to work with them. I guess before we start, one thing we should really think about is what kind of event you're running. So if it's a new event, it's always safer to start small because the bigger events that you do, the higher risk there is because they do cost a lot. And so when you're not sure of numbers, it does add a lot of stress if you aim too high. So I suggest if it's a first year event, really stay local, make sure it's very cheap, and it's just a lot safer. But for the refugee ball, we go have the venue at Dockside, and this is a draft booking agreement. So things that you'll notice is there's always a minimum spend on food and beverage, and also minimum number of guests. And so this is what adds a lot of pressure and stress to organising big events, is this minimum number of people. Um, Things that you need to consider is we hold our event on a Wednesday. So your Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Thursdays are usually a lot cheaper than your Fridays, your Saturdays. So here we paid $75 per person on a Friday, Saturday for a 3-course meal. It can cost up to at least $110, $120. Other things that you need to work with is when you pay your deposit. So usually you have to pay a deposit 6 months beforehand, a second deposit maybe 3 months beforehand, and then your final payment a week out from the event. Okay, so this minimum spend is purely for food and beverage. Working with corporates can be quite tough because they will try to make as much money out of you even though you are not for profit. So not included in this spend are things like sound systems, any decoration, additional catering, what else? Using projectors. So yeah, there are a lot of additional costs you really need to think about when you're using these big corporate events, and just keep in mind that they are trying to make money, so you really need to be assertive and push that you're a charity and you're trying to raise money. Other than that, one thing you also really try to push for is a good beverage package, because alcohol does cost a lot of money but can also attract a lot of guests. So negotiate, we've negotiated providing wine but getting the beer covered, so which works out well for us on that. But yeah, I think overall with the venue, really think about what your event is for and keep it small if you need to, but if you aim high, be very conscious of working with corporates.